another vlog. In today's video, we're gonna be talking all about budget-friendly tips to get a luxurious, high-end style home for the low. I came up with 10 different tips that I know can help you. These are things that I have learned along the way. These are things that are very budget-friendly. If you're on a budget, and I mean a budget, I got you. I've got some free tips in here, some super inexpensive ones. We're not gonna be spending a lot of money. We want our house to look luxurious, glamorous, modern, all the things, very architectural digest, but we don't wanna spend all that money, okay? I'm also really excited because today's video is sponsored by Cricut. So I'm gonna talk to you all a little bit later about how I use my Cricut Explore 3 to get my home looking Pinterest worthy. But yeah, you guys, if that sounds like something you're interested in, if you wanna see and hear about all of my tips on how to get your home looking A1, but on a strict budget, then please just keep on watching. Okay, you guys, my first tip, my number one tip, the tip that can completely change your space is painting. I know a lot of the times when people are looking for houses and they're looking for spaces, they can completely close doors, literally close doors on homes just because of the paint color, and they don't like this room because it's green. But if you try to just keep in mind your home and the solid bones that it has, you can repaint a room. I highly recommend painting white. Obviously, like, that's my aesthetic, but there's so many different versions of whites and creams that can really brighten up your space. It makes it look bigger. If you're working in a smaller space, highly recommend paint it white. Put a white coat of paint on it, and I feel like it instantly gives it a facelift. It feels brighter. It feels more alive, more inviting. There's just something about a bright white space that just does it for me. I feel like every room looks 10 times better if it's white, if it's cream, if it's agreeable gray. It just looks so good. Okay, tip number 2 is to mix your textiles. When you mix textiles, it just makes your space feel a little bit more cozy and warm and relaxed. So for example, if on your couch, maybe your couch is just a simple linen material, add in maybe velvet pillows, maybe a pillow that maybe is Sherpa, something to give it a little bit more texture than just having a plain linen couch, plain linen pillows, plain. You need to give it a little bit of visual interest, some character, some coziness, and I feel like mixing textures really does that. You can keep the same tonal monochromatic look, but if you invite different textiles, different textures, fabrics, maybe invite a little bit of leather in there, it just gives it that pop that a space needs. Okay, tip number 3 is to switch out your hardware. I feel like this is an easy one. This one can be fairly inexpensive. You can find little shops on Etsy, you can go on Amazon, you can shop the thrift store, but switching out your hardware either in your bathroom or your kitchen can instantly make your space feel way more modern and updated without doing the most. This is another area where I feel like people see a bathroom or they see a kitchen, and you have to try to visualize the possibilities of what the space could be and not necessarily what's given in front of you. So switching out the hardware can easily make it feel more up to date, more styled, and more you. Okay, and my next tip is an easy one. It is something that we can all do, and it is organize and clean your space. I'm telling you now, it doesn't matter if you get your furniture from Restoration Hardware, Wayfair, Target, Pottery Barn, West Elm, Overstock. It does not matter. If your space is junky and messy and disorganized, it's never going to look good. It's just not. Which actually brings me to the sponsor of today's video, Cricut. You guys know how obsessed I am with my Cricut. I've been going Cricut crazy over here. I showed you all our laundry room makeover in one of my previous videos, and I'm actually going to be using my Cricut Explore 3 to create labels and put on bins that are going to be in the cabinets in my laundry room. You guys, I'm telling you, the Cricut makes it so easy. You can use so many different fabrics. It works on leather, on cork, on cardstock, on vinyl, on sticker paper. The possibilities are endless. I feel like I say this all the time, but it really is so easy. All you have to do is download the Cricut Design Space app, that. You can look at the images that different community members have uploaded, different projects, if you're a beginner and you need some inspiration, or you can completely customize your own. I really like creating labels. It keeps me organized and it keeps everything in their place where it's supposed to be. But you can create so many different pieces of art. You can get creative and crafty. You can make cards, you can make keychains, you can make t-shirts, pillows, honestly anything with this Cricut machine. I absolutely love mine. So before using my Cricut machine to create labels, I just had my products in the cabinets, my laundry detergent, my stain removers, dryer sheets, all the good stuff to do laundry were just out and in the cabinets. But now I have bins, I have them labeled, I'm able to know exactly where my products are. I know for me, I'm not the type of person who can keep up with pouring detergent in a separate jar and then labeling that jar, but bins work very well for me. I'm able to contain my mess in the bin so it's not just all over the place when I open up the cabinets, and I love it. So I will have all the information listed down below about Cricut. You guys, you cannot go wrong with this machine. It's easy, it's handy, it lets you get creative in your space and keep it organized and neat so that it just looks a little bit more polished. Tip number 5 is to design your space based on the architecture of your home. So maybe you have a home that was built many years ago and it has a lot of character, it has a lot of detail, maybe in the crown molding, maybe it has like different archways when you enter into rooms, the original flooring, the original doors, all those little details to give your home character. Try to design around those. It's gonna be way more cost effective if you have a home that has those vintage elements and bringing in your own, maybe thrifted items to kind of go along with the architecture. It is gonna be very difficult if maybe you have an older home that's built in like the 1920s and it has all of this character, but you want a more minimal Scandinavian style. It's gonna be hard to really achieve that. If your crown molding is original, if the doors are original, maybe you have like pillars or poles like in your home that can't easily be removed, or it's gonna be really expensive to remove those things. It's just so much easier to design around it and really make your space come to life and make sense. Okay, and tip number 6 kind of goes along with that, and that is to go thrifting. Go to an antique shop, a thrift store, anything along those lines that you can get pieces for inexpensive or at least secondhand so that they're unique, they're one of a kind. And I would say I'm not a professional thrifter by any means. I've been getting my feet wet in it, but like I'm nowhere near pro status at all. But I will say that if you go to an antique shop or a thrift store, try to look for pieces that just have good bones. You can easily, well, fairly easy, put a new piece of fabric on a chair, like an accent chair, get it reupholstered. You can easily paint things depending on what it is. You can sand stuff down and really DIY it to make it your own. But I think a thrift store is a really great option to not only find one-of-a-kind pieces that's gonna elevate your home, but inexpensive ones as well. Okay, and tip number 7 is lighting. I feel like in every video I talk about lighting. I am such a lighting girl, from candles, yes that counts, lamps, floor lamps, chandeliers, like it speaks to me, it just does something to me. I feel like you cannot go wrong with getting lamps, setting the scene, setting the ambiance. It feels so much more welcoming than having maybe a builder grade light fixture or fan or like one of those flush mounts, you know what I'm talking about. Again, you can have the nicest furniture and some top tier like home decor pieces, but if you're inviting people over into your space and the lighting is just harsh, it's not flattering, it's not forgiving, it's not good vibes, it does not matter. At least for me, it's instantly gonna be like, oh gosh, like the home is beautiful, sure, but the lighting is just off. It's gonna make your space feel so much more like romantic and cozy and welcoming and just like alluring if you have lamps, sconces, dimmable lamps, dimmable sconces, all of those things really make a huge difference. Okay, tip number 8 is to DIY your own art. DIY wall art. You can find so many different tutorials online of how to use like putty and paint and create a textured wall art piece. I showed on my channel how I updated our breakfast nook frames by literally using kids paint and kids paper and just painting an abstract design to put in each frame. You do not have to spend a whole bunch of money on art. That's actually one area where I recommend not putting your money towards unless you really want to support an artist. But going online at places where they literally just print the art piece, but they're charging hundreds of dollars. It's not even an original art piece. It's not handmade. There's nothing really all that special and unique about it. I would steer clear away from that. You can go on Etsy and support different artists. You could do your own, which is honestly the cheapest way, and you can get a piece that's really unique and personal to you. Okay, so tip number 9 is to embrace minimalism. Sometimes if you're really working on a strict budget, you might not have room to really get that luxe, glam, kind of over the top look, and you might have to embrace a different style like minimalism, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would rather stick with the minimal design style and make your space look complete and maybe add on from there than trying to go overboard and just fill up your space with unnecessary items that you're gonna regret. So start off small, and maybe your space does look a little bit minimal. That's totally fine. That is a design style, and you can really make that look appealing and luxurious. Sometimes less really is more. Okay, and tip number 10 is to enlarge the room with curtains. You would be surprised the difference curtains make. I'm telling you, get yourself some white curtains, hang them up. They can be very inexpensive. IKEA has some awesome ones. You could go to Walmart. You could go to so many inexpensive places and just get simple white curtains with a simple curtain rod, and it's instantly gonna make your space feel brighter and bigger, especially if you have a smaller apartment or a smaller room that you're working with. Get the white curtains, especially if you used tip number 1 to paint your space white. You have a white room with white or cream curtains. It's just gonna instantly look elevated, more high-end, and just be more appealing. So yeah, you guys, I really hope that these tips helped you when designing your space on a budget. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips that maybe have helped you, if you were shopping on a budget, maybe some places that you found some really cute, inexpensive items. Let us know. And don't forget to check out Cricut. I will have everything listed down below for you. And yeah, you guys, with all that being said, make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and all my budget-friendly tips, we will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.